Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that touches every family as we grow older. Relationships change, sometimes in ways we never expected. Children move away, their lives become busier, and our role as parents begins to shift. Disagreements may surface more often, and we might find ourselves holding on to old expectations. But through Stoicism, we can find peace even when relationships feel uncertain. It teaches us to focus not on controlling others, but on mastering our reactions. This is the first step towards serenity in family life after 60. When I was younger, I used to think family peace depended on everyone agreeing with me. As years passed, I learned that harmony comes from understanding, not control. Stoic philosophy reminded me that my opinions are only mine, not universal truths. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that we must accept others as they are, not as we wish them to be. This thought changed how I approach my children's choices. I learned to listen more, argue less, and give space for their independence. The peace that followed was gentle but powerful. It taught me that calm acceptance builds stronger bonds than endless debates. Family conflict often begins with small misunderstandings that grow over time. A missed call, a sharp word, or an unmet expectation can turn into quiet resentment. Stoicism encourages us to pause before reacting, to breathe before speaking. When we do, we prevent temporary emotions from causing lasting harm. I remember one evening when a conversation with my daughter turned tense. Instead of defending myself, I stayed silent for a moment and simply listened. That silence allowed both of us to understand what truly mattered. Sometimes the wisest words are the ones we choose not to say. Aging changes how we see relationships. The desire to hold on often clashes with life's natural flow of letting go. Stoicism helps us see that change is not loss, but transformation. When family members drift apart, it doesn't mean love has disappeared. It means life is asking us to love differently. By focusing on gratitude instead of longing, we find peace in the love that remains. I began writing letters to my grandchildren instead of worrying about how rarely we meet. Those letters became bridges of connection through time and distance. One of the hardest lessons for older adults is accepting that we cannot fix everything. We cannot change our children's paths, repair every disagreement, or erase every regret. Stoicism teaches us to act with kindness, but release the need for results. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This became my daily prayer. I learned to offer advice only when asked and to let silence speak where words once failed. In that acceptance, I found both peace and freedom. Every family has moments of pain. Maybe a sibling no longer calls. Maybe a child feels distant. Maybe there's an old wound that time has not healed. Stoicism doesn't deny pain. It helps us understand it. It teaches us to separate the event from our judgment of it. The pain is real, but suffering grows when we resist it. Once we accept that hurt is part of life, healing can begin. With each breath, we can choose calm over chaos. When you practice Stoicism in family life, patience becomes your greatest ally. Not everyone grows at the same pace, and not every relationship heals overnight. A kind word today may bloom into reconciliation months later. I've seen this happen in my own family. Years of silence ended with one heartfelt message that simply said, "I love you." Stoicism prepared me to offer that love without needing an immediate reply. True patience is an act of quiet strength. It reminds us that peace takes time, but it always finds its way down as we get older. We start to value peace more than being right. This shift in priorities is a gift of age and wisdom. Stoicism nurtures this mindset by teaching us humility. We realize that ego has no place in love. Every argument we win costs us a little closeness, while every understanding we show deepens connection. I've learned to ask myself, do I want to win this moment or preserve this relationship? That question has saved many conversations from turning sour. Peace is always worth more than pride. There's beauty in stepping back and watching our loved ones find their own way. Stoicism teaches that life's journey belongs to each person. Our children, our partners, even our friends must walk their own paths. We can support them, but we cannot walk for them. Once we accept this, we stop carrying unnecessary burdens. I found joy in simply observing my family's growth, even when their choices differed from mine. Love does not fade when it releases control. It becomes pure. Sometimes, family disagreements stem from misunderstanding different generations. Younger ones seek freedom, while elders often crave stability. Stoicism helps bridge this gap by encouraging empathy over judgment. We must remember that we too once rebelled against advice. Understanding this softens our tone and opens hearts. I've learned that a calm voice invites connection, while a harsh one builds walls. When we lead with gentleness, even difficult conversations become opportunities for love. Many seniors struggle with loneliness when relationships change. The Stoic response is not to deny that loneliness, but to transform it into reflection. We can use quiet moments to understand ourselves better. Solitude can be a sacred teacher. Instead of fearing silence, we can fill it with gratitude, prayer, or thought. I found peace during solitary walks, where I often whispered Marcus Aurelius's words. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. That retreat is always open to us. Forgiveness is another cornerstone of Stoic living. Holding onto resentment is like carrying a heavy stone uphill. It exhausts the heart and clouds the mind. Forgiving others does not excuse their actions. It frees us from bitterness. I once held anger for years toward a relative who wronged me. One day, I realized my anger was hurting only me. So I let it go. The relief was instant, and peace quietly returned to my spirit. To handle family conflicts with Stoicism, we must also handle ourselves. Emotional discipline begins within. When I feel frustrated, I pause and ask, what can I control right now? Usually, the answer is my tone, my patience, or my perspective. Focusing on that keeps me from adding fire to conflict. Over time, I've seen arguments dissolve simply because I chose calm over reaction. Mastering our emotions is not suppression. It's wisdom in action. It's also important to remember that change in relationships is inevitable. Children marry, friends move away, and sometimes loved ones pass on. Stoicism gives us a framework to embrace impermanence with grace. It reminds us that love does not vanish, it transforms into memory and gratitude. I keep a small box of family photos that remind me of laughter, forgiveness, and shared meals. These images teach me that love never truly leaves us. It just changes form. When communication becomes strained, Stoicism advises honesty delivered with compassion. We must speak truth without cruelty and listen without defensiveness. I've found that expressing feelings calmly often leads to understanding. Anger may silence others, but empathy invites them in. Sometimes all someone needs is to be heard without judgment. Through listening, we plant seeds of peace that grow in time. There will be moments when peace feels impossible. During those times, Stoicism teaches us to return to inner stillness. We cannot stop storms from coming, but we can learn to stand firm. When tension rises, I close my eyes and breathe slowly. I remind myself that my peace belongs to me alone. No one can take it unless I allow them to. That realization brings a strength deeper than any argument. Over the years, I've noticed that the more I practice Stoicism, the gentler my relationships become. I don't need to prove my point or fix every problem. I've learned that quiet understanding often solves more than 1,000 words. Stoicism has turned my home into a calmer, kinder place. It's a daily practice, not a perfect one, but its rewards are endless. Peace is a habit, not a coincidence. The beauty of Stoicism for seniors lies in its timelessness. It speaks to every stage of life, but feels especially comforting as we grow older. Its wisdom helps us face family change with grace and purpose. It turns every challenge into an opportunity for growth. When I look at my family now, I no longer see conflict, I see lessons in love. Stoicism taught me that harmony begins within and radiates outward. As time continues to move forward, we begin to see that peace within the family is not built through perfection, but through consistent kindness. Stoicism reminds us that love matures when we stop demanding and start appreciating. Each moment shared, no matter how small, becomes part of a larger story of understanding. I have learned that one sincere act of forgiveness can heal what years of silence could not. When we look at our family with eyes of gratitude instead of judgment, we see their struggles as reflections of our own. This awareness deepens our compassion and softens our words. In the end, Stoicism teaches us that the true measure of a peaceful life is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of enduring love. And when we live with that spirit of love and calm, thanks for watching. I hope today's reflections help you find peace in your own family journey. Remember that every conflict carries a hidden chance for understanding. Every change is an invitation to grow in wisdom. Keep practicing calm, patience, and compassion. Life after 60 can be a time of deep connection if we choose to meet it with a stoic heart. Stay strong, stay peaceful, and let your love be steady through every season of change.